Okay, so it's been about a week that RDJ has been revealed as Doctor Doom, and a lot of people on the internet, myself included, have been skeptical. It's been everywhere from like people really hyped about it, like blindly hyped about it, and then people just outright not accepting it. I'm half and half about it. I think it wouldn't be horrible acting wise, considering I've seen him in Oppenheimer and I can see that type of performance from RDJ with the grudge and malice to read. But the fact that we're getting Fantastic Four next year, with a year in between, with projects that don't even have anything to do with the Fantastic Four or Doom, as we're recording this, and mainly having to set up Doom as the villain to take over Kang in post-credit scenes, if anything, that's my biggest concern. Also, the concern that they're just going to do it for nostalgia factor, which it's definitely, like a bunch of people have said, desperate and safe move instead of a smart move for the MCU. But I mean, at this point, where's the surprise in that? Because they haven't been making any hits, let's be honest. Biggest hit right now is Deadpool and Wolverine, but that's like the one thing this year. So they had to take a whole year off solely so that they could have one project to make people go, oh, we're back. We're so back, which is fine. I do see the point of having Deadpool and Wolverine be a win for this year if you just don't pay attention to Agatha's show, which I'm not. I'm sure a bunch of people won't. It's another Disney Plus show that probably is going to stink. I wouldn't say absolutely going to stink. I'd say more in the probable cause because they've done good stuff. I think it's going to be a special. If not, if it's a show, I'm more worried about it because, Agatha's not like an A-list character, and we're really running with C-listers and D-listers in the MCU right now. So again, RDJ coming back, already really risky, but they could do it well. They could make him masked all the time. Please don't have it be an infamous Iron Man thing where it's just basically Iron Man with a hood. I mean, it's definitely going to be that. This art was also like making the rounds as like the definitive look for RDJ's Doctor Doom, which I think it's come out as fan art, which is kind of, who would have guessed that something 2 years away would not have like a set official art made of it already? Because I know they've been planning this, but there's no way there's already official art. That's legitimately just infamous Iron Man fan art. I don't know. I think it's Boss Logic that made it. Don't quote me on that. But the fact that we're getting people hyped, people just flat out not accepting it, saying stuff like, I don't think it was a good idea for Marvel to do this. I do agree, because Marvel having to make Doom a ploy to get people in seats to watch and care about Doomsday is not the right move, and seems more like a band-aid solution to the fact that people aren't invested in the story being told or the characters. Although I am hopeful for the story because it's being written by the Infinity War and Endgame writers and directed by the Russos. So there is a possibility that the story for those two next Avenger movies can be great, although the setup will probably not be as connected as previous Avengers movies. Honestly, I think they should have just gone with a different actor. I would have gone with Cillian Murphy. I know he was being talked about and rumored about being Doctor Doom. I would have also gone with Giancarlo instead of Sidewinder, which is going to be like maybe one-off villain. I know there was talks about him getting a show, but I'm like, do we really need another filler show about a character that can't put people's butts in movies? I think the Marvel shows should be solely for street level, which seems to be nobody's concern over there at Marvel. Feige does not care about street level characters, which is very concerning, as street level characters would be perfect for shows. Just look at Daredevil's success. And as much as people don't really love the Hawkeye show, I think it's the best show to have a street level thing to it. Echo just went out of nowhere with like the magical stuff. Same with Miss Marvel, which could have just been another street level show, but I guess not. That's what I would use Disney Plus for, at least show-wise, to set up the smaller characters, so then you can have them in the movies. But, they don't want to do that. They want to focus more on setting up character after character, the Young Avengers, which people are like lukewarm at best with them, at least major audiences are, because most of them don't get any reaction out of anyone. But then they learn the wrong lessons when they get people's reactions, because then they see, like, for example, Deadpool and Wolverine had, a spoiler alert, had a bunch of cameos, had Blade, Elektra, Gambit. They had a bunch of characters from, like, Legacy, and, like, Gambit's not a Legacy character, but if you know the story behind that, that is, like, a big thing for him to show up as Channing Tatum. But because of that, they're learning the opposite of what I think they should be doing. I think it's a little bit better than it was in Doctor Strange, but they're not learning the best lessons with it. They're more learning like, oh, let's just put more legacy characters to get people like hyped off nostalgia, instead of, let's take these legacy characters and give them a cool integrated way, why they're in the story, what's their purpose in the story, and how they help with the plot. That Deadpool did that. I honestly can't see any other movie. I'm very concerned for Secret Wars doing that, because I think it'll be mainly just nostalgia baity, back to back to back, which wouldn't be bad. Well, it is bad, but it wouldn't be nearly as bad if they had some plot relevance to it. Like, not just multiverse, but more like, oh, they're here because of this. They're here to help with this arc, or have their own arcs. Like how the legacy characters from Deadpool had their own arc about finishing their business and eventually their worlds. That makes sense to me. The idea of having, just like, for example, Ben Affleck's Daredevil show up out of nowhere for no reason at all, solely so that people could go, oh, it's Ben Affleck Daredevil. That's so cool. I think that's, like, if he has a role to play, then that's fine. I'd rather him be part of the cast and help out with the story than be another meaningless cameo. I also don't like the weird, like, oh, we're going to bring back a character just to kill them off, like they did with an Illuminati. I know I, for one, was really excited to see the Illuminati, but then we kind of got, like, a weird multiverse version of them. Like, Namor wasn't even part of the Illuminati, neither was Stark. We didn't get, like, the comic version of them, which is fine. I'm fine with, like, a different version of the Illuminati. But the fact that they basically show up, then get immediately one-shot by, basically one-shot, like maybe Captain Marvel and Captain Carter 3-shot, mainly get one-shot by Scarlet Witch is just insane to me, to have that level of hype in this nostalgia bait for characters and then just wipe them like they're nothing. It's the equivalent of adding a joke character and just killing them off for no reason. But they didn't even use it like that. Like, Deadpool used it like that, which I can forgive because it's Deadpool. But Multiverse of Madness just used it like verbatim, just a way to hype people up solely because they knew characters, and then just kill them off immediately. You could cut that entire scene out and it wouldn't change a thing of that movie. So that's my biggest concern for Secret Wars and Doomsday when it comes to bringing back legacy characters. Another concern is how they're going to deal with the fact that there are no set Avenger members. Like, we can count on, like, fingers on, like, who you could see in the Avengers movie, but, like, all of them are just former Avengers members. Like Sam, maybe the new Falcon, Bucky, maybe some, like, Yelena, maybe Captain Marvel. I don't know. Just, we haven't seen any of the new characters for more than a project. The only one I can think of is maybe Monica Rambeau and Captain Marvel, and that's it. Like, that is legitimately it. Like, I know we're going to get Brave New World and Thunderbolts, which is going to give us, like, more appearances of Red Guardian, Taskmaster, Ghost, Yelena again. But I'm like, we haven't seen these characters interact with each other, and I think that it was a very big mistake to have the Avengers movies not close out phases, but instead be left for huge crossover events. Because they should have used them as mini crossover events building up to something bigger, like they did in the first 3 phases with the first Avengers and Age of Ultron before they led up to Infinity War and Endgame. Because that was better. That format of introducing new characters while also having sequels in between phases and then closing it off with a crossover event, that made it feel more connected than what we've gotten now, which is just weird, disconnected side project after side project with like people caring less and less about the connectivity of it. And it's just, I don't know. It's not helping the Marvel brand. Certainly not helping comic book movies as a whole. But none of the stuff I'm covering right now is like any new ground being broken. It is just my thoughts about the new announcements being made. But yeah, let me know if you have any thoughts on the new announcements and how you think they should proceed with the RDJ Doom in the MCU.